All right, here we are, Carolina Preps fans. My spring football tour is still continuing. Here in Mint Hill, Eastern Charlotte, Rocky River High School, Coach Kenneth McClamrock. Coach, I appreciate you having me by today.
Yes, sir, Chris. Thanks for coming by.
Well, here we are in the midst of spring practices. You know, a lot of excitement kind of building around your team. I can see some good things happening. Tell me how the kids are responding and what you guys are getting out of this year's spring workouts.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I could not be more excited for this upcoming season. Our kids have worked their butts off. When I got here, you know, there was a lot of stuff that needed to be changed, and our kids and our coaches have worked extremely hard to make those changes. They're working hard in the weight room. They're working hard in the classroom. You know, I told my principal a few weeks ago that everything you can measure in the off season is trending in the right direction. Behavior is up, attendance is up, weight room numbers is up, participation is up, and I can't wait to see these guys compete. We've had 3 practices so far. The kids have worked their butts off. They're flying around. They're having fun. I had one coach yesterday who's not in the building. He said, "Coach, I've never seen our guys jump and contort their bodies the way that they were jumping and contort their bodies yesterday." And that's a sign of how hard our guys have been working. We're super excited.
And you mentioned the coaches and the players as well. What do you try to get from spring practices? I know it's different with every school, and depending on the stage of the program where you're at through its development, some guys work on installation of new plays. Some of them are just trying to get guys out and evaluate kids and evaluate talent. And then some, and you mentioned coaches, some use it as an opportunity to give coaches more responsibility. What is it that you try to take out of spring?
You know, for me, I'm a big believer that in the springtime you start back at ground zero. You know, whether it's my 3rd year of the program or my 2nd year of the program or the 1st year of the program, we're going to start with the basics. So day one, we went back to football terminology 101. And as we're installing offenses and we are installing defenses, we do it as if no kid in that room has ever heard it before. And that's because, to be quite honest with you, we got a lot of new guys out here. We got a lot of new faces. We got a lot of athletes that play other sports here at Rocky River that have never played football before. And so we want them to be comfortable, but we also use it as a time to review who we are and what we've done in the past with our older guys. You know, as far as coaches, you mentioned it, man. It's a great point. I believe that the spring is a time that you start to give coaches more responsibility. You know, whether that's coaches running the weight room after school, whether that's coaches having more of a say in practice and talking to the team before practice or after practice. You know, I'm super excited about our coaching staff. We have our entire offensive staff is coming back. We have who, without a shadow of a doubt, is the best offensive line coach for a long ways. In Chris Harrison, he played in the NFL for 9 years. You know, he completely turned around our offense last year, and proof of that are only 2 seniors on the offensive line this past season. Both of them are going to college for free to play football. We've got Coach Carruthers, who is back, that helps him out. Coach Green, who's been here since the school opened up at running backs, with Coach Bryce, who was just named our school's Teacher of the Year earlier a few weeks ago, is back to coach the running backs. Coach Morgan, who's our baseball coach, who does a phenomenal job with our wide receivers. Coach Segworth, who joined us midseason last year. So my entire offensive staff is back. There's a continuity there that hasn't been here at Rocky River for a while. And then, if I'm being honest with you, I think that we are quietly building the best defensive staff in all of Charlotte. We've got DJ Rankin, who is coming over. Most recently, he was the DC at Independence. He's going to be our defensive coordinator. Coach Kreit, who's been the DC here for the last several years, is making the transition to DBs. He's going to be our special teams coordinator. We've got Coach T, Coach Warren, who does a phenomenal job. He coached at UNC Charlotte. We've got Coach Boykins, who played for me at Central Bears, that's also worked with our linebackers. Coach Lucky, who's returning as our defensive line coach. And then we have one more coach who hopefully gets hired this week, tomorrow, that if he comes in, our defensive staff all of a sudden is the best defensive staff in all of Charlotte. And I've told my players since I got here that I'm going to bring in the best guys because they deserve to have the best coaches around them, and that we're going to put them in positions to be successful.
That's a pretty bold statement. Talking about your defensive staff, considering some of the great defensive staffs 100%. In this city. I mean, you can evaluate the 8A, 7A football across the state, and without a doubt, I do think that the Charlotte area plays the toughest brand of defense anywhere in the state.
No doubt, and we have to be able to do that ourselves. We were talking yesterday before practice. We've got to become the hardest working team, not only in Charlotte but in the entire state. If we're going to do what we want to do, if we want to have the type of season that we want to have this year, we want to start to build a program up, that we've got to work extremely hard. But all of that begins with our coaches. So with Coach Rankin, for example, he's coming in with a brand new attitude and a brand new set of expectations, buddy. And let me tell you, he is demanding. And when I hired him, I said, man, that's what I need. I need you to shake this tree. I need you to find out who we have left. And then we've put other coaches around him that is going to make us better. Coach, one of your coaches you interviewed recently, Chris, I can't remember who it was. Anyhow, said, there are two types of head coaches out there. Coaches who have to be the smartest coach in the room, and then there's a coach that realizes that if you're the smartest coach in the room, you're not going to be very good. And I know that if I'm the smartest coach in the room, our football program's not going to be very good. So I want to put men around us who are going to challenge me, who know football way better than I do, and who are going to make our program better. And that's what we're doing here.
You're right about one thing. You said that it starts with the coaches. But, the old adage, X's and O's versus Jimmy's and Joe's, it still takes the kids. The players are the ones that have to be able to digest it. It don't matter how much you or your coaches know of football. If you can't teach it to a kid in a way they understand, it won't work. So tell me how your young men going through the practices, your players, how they're adapting and how they feel, and maybe some of the guys that are standing out.
Well, how much time we got, man? Because I could talk about my guys for a long time. We've got a small senior class. We were a small senior class this past season. We're going to be small again as far as returning players go. But it's going to start with a kid named Taquan Giddens, man. We call him Tex. Tex is 6 feet. He's 175 pounds. He ran a 4.44 40. He's a 32-inch vertical. He back squats well over 4 plates below parallel. He works extremely hard. He's going to play everywhere for us. Tex can do everything. We've got another senior, Mikey Anderson. He's 6'5", 280 pounds on the offensive line that's had a great spring. He's working exceptionally hard. He's a 2-year starter returning. Tex is as well. We've got another, will be a 3-year starter in Zaire Saladin at center. He's not the biggest kid on the field, but he's extremely scrappy. He works his butt off. His snaps are perfect every single time. We've got a set of twins, Josh and Jerome Crawley, who have just been animals in the weight room this year, and I cannot wait to see what that does for them on the field. Joseph Ngoy, who is our returning all-conference player at defensive line, is another senior. Really excited about what he is going to bring to the table. I'm missing a senior. I'm going to remember here in a minute. I apologize. But then we've got some other guys. Caleb McClure, who's had a great offseason, was a starter for us last year, and Zaire Washington, who's had a great offseason. And then we've got some really young guys, man. When I talk about special, these guys are going to be the guys that make Rocky River one of the premier programs in the state of North Carolina. It starts with Tyrell Bars. He is a do-it-everything DB wide receiver. In fact, he just power cleaned 225 today and caught dog, man. Aiden Falks, who is an incredible defensive end force. Those two jokers might be the best 2 freshman players in the city at their positions. They are going to be special players for us. Tyshawn Taylor is another special player for us. And then we've got a whole group of sophomores going to be juniors next year that we're really excited about. Marley Loudermilk, who started for us at corner last year, he's going to play some wide receiver for us as well. We just got a group, man, God knows, Jakai Harris, Chris Sanchez, who's coming back. I mean, just guys that I'm excited about because of how hard they've worked. And I know that's going to show off on Friday nights.
Well, Coach, I appreciate the time. I know you got to be excited. The realignment, I thought the conference was favorable for you. I've seen your schedule. I mean, I definitely think that Rocky River has a chance to be a breakout team, and I know you guys are going to work hard.
Well, we're excited about it. And Chris, of course, the guru, man, we go back a long time. Carolina Preps, thanks for everything that you do, not just for North Carolina, but thank you for covering Rocky River football.
Thanks, Coach. We'll see you soon. Good luck this year.
Yes, sir.